Hello, baby.
I was crazy once.
I'm thinking of a number.
Did we lose him?
Spencer, no. That's like Ask Dan. I'm gonna live forever. Damn it. Okay, roll intro. I'm keeping this in there so you can that could be the start. That could be the start.
Do you want to wait like a minute? Let's see if he comes back.
I wonder if he thinks this is a bit that we're just ignoring him. But Spencer, we literally can't.
Your camera is
literally can't hear
frozen,
you.
and
Yeah.
if you're talking, we can't hear you.
Yeah, it's like the whole thing just fucking died. Oh, yeah, he's gone. He's dead. Oh, you're back.
Everything crashed.
That was kind of like, I hope you're on your PC now, right? Still? Okay, all right. I'm a PC. Okay, are you still recording?
I'm recording now.
Did you guys want to know about something? This is gonna be so crazy because we're recording this right now, but this is kind of
We are recording it right now. That's how most podcasts are, unless you're a live podcast.
Have you guys seen? I hate how I try and start off with something, then you say something, and then I riff off of that thing, and I lose.
And then we lose it.
Original. Yeah. Okay.
We should just be
this reminds
completely
me-
scripted.
That's true.
Yeah.
What did we say? Completely scripted Friday, Sunday morning, or something like that.
Completely scripted Sunday morning.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like SNL.
Oh, there you
But-
go. I like that.
Yeah, but it's the opposite. That's like a joke from like 4 years ago that we made.
I forgot about that joke, but that's
It's like
good.
it's like Sunday morning scripted or something like that.
That we should have like a T-shirt that's like the SNL
just
font, but it's Sunday morning scripted.
Yeah, and we can have our own like.
Well, I guess Saturday Night
Flash
Live
type
is also
movie.
scripted. It's not improv, but
Yeah, it's live. No, I think I remember now. You said like Sunday morning taped. I
Sunday
think,
morning
which
taped,
is
yeah.
which is now false because there are pre-taped segments now. Thanks to those guys.
yes.
Please don't destroy.
Please Don't Destroy, and before them, it was The Lonely Island.
That's right. Oh, what was it called?
Yeah,
No, they
and
had another name for it. It was maybe it was The Lonely Island actually. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong.
I was good. For some reason, I was about to say Digital Circus, but then I remember that's the thing that like kids love.
I don't want to know what that is actually.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say there's a Mr. Show sketch that's like it's like live
Oh, the
now
pre-taped,
but taped.
the pre-taped call-in show.
Yeah, the pre-tape. Yeah,
I
where
love that one.
They air the thing that was pre-taped, but they're recording a different episode.
And then the climax of the joke is when he brings in the TV to show the previous week's episode. It's like recursive. That one's really good.
That's a crazy sketch idea.
Uh-huh.
I want to shout out our patron and friend Axel, who sent me a TikTok and said this seems very Ethan and Spencer coded. And it's a TikTok of a guy dressed as Homer, on like Halloween, and he goes like, "Hey Lois,"
Yeah.
and then it says "giggity goo," and then I was like, "Okay, yeah, I can
I
see
think that was
that."
Patrick Doran that did that.
Yeah, I don't know who the
Yeah.
guy, the influencer is, but like, but I
think-
thought that was
The caption
It's
was
pretty
also
good.
like Bart Simpson fail or something like that.
Uh-huh.
yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I love getting things wrong. Like that's the whole. It's an ongoing conversation with all of us, but that's one of my favorite things, getting things wrong.
I love getting things wrong. It's better
I
than
love-
getting things right.
Yeah, because everyone expects you to get things right. Everyone assumes that you're a genius,
Uh-huh.
but in reality, I'm just a dumbass. There's the photo. That's the photo.
Yeah, there's two
Yes,
homers
again.
in this photo.
Is that what they said about Babe Ruth?
Yeah, the two homers.
Or like
Famously,
I guess
he
if
got
they-
two homers.
That's right. How many homers? How many homers did he get in one game? Is that like a fact we should know?
I don't know. He
Like,
probably
can
got
you-
like 100.
People could in one game.
Yeah, let me look up
Yeah.
Babe Ruth home runs one game.
Yeah. How about most home runs in a game? I'll do the other one.
In
Oh,
a
shit.
Game.
3.
Three homers. Now that's a show I'd love to see.
Wait, but
That's
this one,
us.
I see something.
Yeah, the three homers.
He got three. He got 3 homers.
Yeah, he got 3 homers.
Twice in 2 different games.
Wow, that's actually insane.
Mhm.
5 years. 5 years between, like 1930 and 1935.
Wow.
For anyone keeping track here, the Toronto Blue Jays 1987 got 10 home runs in a game.
What the fuck?
Yeah, 10. I feel like if you were they beat the Baltimore Orioles. So if I were the Orioles, I would jump off a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like that's insane to get clowned on, to get 10 homers against you in one game. The final score?
Yeah.
You know what the final score? It's 18-3.
Wow. I think so Shohei Ohtani's also gotten 3 home runs in a game.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Coming after that babe.
Yeah.
That's what we're all doing.
And you guys, well, just me.
Yeah, I guess.
Actually, right now, that's crazy. Shohei. Someone asked me, "Is the rise of Shohei contributing to the rise of the Asian boyfriend?" And I say, maybe. I say maybe to that.
That's what I say to most questions that someone asks me.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
say
maybe.
is the Earth round?
Maybe.
Maybe. What's that from again? Oh shit, it's gonna bother me now. Maybe.
Arrested Development? I don't know.
No,
There's
it's
a character
not.
named Maybe.
It's someone goes like, "You're gonna regret this," and the guy goes like, "Maybe." It's a movie. It's like Adam Driver. It's something like that. You know what I mean? It's It's gonna kill me because I say this all the time.
Is that Indiana Jones? I feel like that's a Harrison Ford thing to say too.
No, but it's something like that. It's something along those lines. You know. Talk about Indiana Jones. I know this is the freeform episode. This is not the freeform episode. It's a freeform season. This is the freeform format moving forward.
The
Great
season.
Circle.
Circle.
I haven't played it, but I'm watching. I'm watching the playthrough right now.
I
And,
watched the
I
prologue.
like that they. Oh, you watch? Yeah, okay. And you get the giant. It's very like Angels. Well, not Angels and Demons. It's very Da Vinci Code, because I'm sure that's what they're going for. You go into a museum at night, and then there is a monk that is stealing things from you or killing people. But yeah, it's very cool. I will say in that scene he is wearing the same exact outfit that he wore in Raiders. So it's the brown herringbone 3-piece belt back with the patch pockets, the cream shirt, and of course the green foulard tie.
Mm.
So that I like that they just kind of reskin, or they use that as like the skin for Indiana Jones. He also later on in the game wears like a clerical suit, so it's not like a frock, like a with the. I mean, he does wear the neckband thing, but he's wearing like a suit. It's like a waistcoat. It's like a black 3-piece, and that also has a belt back. So I'm curious where they saw that. I don't know. I haven't seen like 30s Catholic uniforms. But I think that's cool that it has a belt back. But yeah, cool to see the developers of a game, kind of doing that. And
I want to play that game so bad.
I feel that you would love it.
I would absolutely love it.
And the good thing is that you have company mode. I mean, this is for me. I get scared playing single-player games, and you are literally in temples and with traps and stuff. I get scared, but you do have a buddy for some parts of it, So that's
Is this like when people do the thing where it's like the horrifying loneliness of Minecraft or something like that? You just get scared because it's like there might be somebody else there.
Is
that a creepypasta?
No, that's just like a genre of YouTube video, and I make fun of it, but also this is what I thought when I was a kid. Here's a fun little Spencer lore thing.
Give it to me.
My grandma had a Nintendo 64 because she was a gamer. And when I would go over there, I would like play Turok or whatever, or Rayman and shit like that. But then sometimes I would pop in James Bond, GoldenEye.
Classic.
But I didn't, at least when I first started doing that, I was never playing the like story mode. I just kind of wanted to like run around and explore the maps. And so what I would do is I would load up a multiplayer game and just have like, I would just plug in another controller and just have that guy standing in the middle of the map. But I was always so scared. It's like, what if he starts moving?
Yeah. Like, you look over and you actually didn't plug it in. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Or you could do a thing where you do like the biggest map and you put one bot in there, and then you just
chase them.
They find you.
Yeah.
Or the opposite. They chase you.
That's right. The chasers.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to Style and Direction, a menswear podcast without the stuffiness.
Welcome.
I am your host. One of them, Ethan M. Wong.
I'm Spencer DSO.
And I'm MJ.
I hope you had a great Christmas or holiday break, what have you.
You guys get a break?
Yeah, I this is the first time. This is not like a call out to my job, but like at my previous job, we like closed down the office for 2 weeks, basically.
Yeah.
Like the week before Christmas, and then like until whatever the next new week after New Year's is. No such time for this one. Although I feel like just like at my previous job, clients do that, so I feel like it's gonna be a slow week anyway.
I work for the state now,
yeah.
and so Gruesome Gavin has declared that we must close down for 2 weeks during the holidays. It's actually
Gruesome
really
Gavin.
nice. Yeah.
Do you get paid for 2 weeks?
Yes.
Okay, that's the good
That's
part
good.
then. It's not like if you work retail and when you're off work, you're
You
not
just don't
getting
get
paid.
paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
well,
me.
salary boys rise
Salary
up, I guess.
boys win again. We should become salarymen.
Yeah.
Let's
move to Japan.
Yeah, let's move to Japan. Let's work really hard, and then we go out to a bar and we drink so much that we pass out on a bench.
And then go to work the next day at the office.
That sounds like such an awesome life.
Yeah. I mean, who says you can't do that now?
I guess
Don't
you're
you
right.
want to work
yeah.
for the state? Work so hard for the state.
Just start
Okay.
sleeping under your desk, Spence.
Oh
Spencer,
man, maybe I will.
If you were to be in a play while you're at work, would that make you a state actor?
Yes, it would be. I would be a
Okay.
state
What-
actor. I would be a crisis actor because
What
I'm
play?
facing a professional crisis.
Yeah, what play?
What
Give us a
play I would be in?
Yeah.
The Tempest.
Okay.
And I
all
would
right.
play the creepy magic guy.
Okay. Did I tell you guys? This is so. I know again, freeform. I promise you, we will talk about menswear. But I tell you, I watched. It's not Shakespeare in the Park. It was Comedy of Errors in a bar.
Comedy of
in a
Errors in a
bar
bar.
patio. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like a local theater, and they had never run through it before. I mean, maybe that adds to the
That's
fun
the
of it, and
point,
so it's kind of
yeah.
funny for them to do it and then yell out line, and then the person like off to the side. It was not even off stage. It's just they just rearranged the seats, so it's like a they make a little auditorium, if you will.
Yeah.
The thing was, here's the part.
Here's the rub.
We're kind of there's a lot of like yelling and this whole thing, and there's like beating each other up because like one of the characters like beats up his servant because he thinks it's the other guy. And then these two guys off the street who were drunk walk over, and they were like, "Oh, it's a play. I thought I would have to kill someone to save someone's life." And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then they would sit and they would react really hard to what was happening. I'm surprised if they got it because they were talking in Shakespeare. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and they're talking kind of fast. And at one point, they got on stage, and I thought that was very uncomfortable. But like, hey, props to everyone for kind of just going through it. But that was an interesting Monday evening.
Yeah.
I just happened to be there. I went with my friend. I went with Louisa because we were catching up, and then this play just started to happen around us. Or I guess not around us. Like I guess it was
front
a
of you?
planned thing. We just didn't know that it was about to happen.
We should
yeah.
give our official style and direction stance on audience participation in plays. Is it good? Is it bad? Do we love it? Do we hate it?
I in plays.
Yeah, like or the situation where it's like they run out in the audience and start like shaking people's hands or talking to you or whatever.
Okay.
I don't like it. Well, it's not that I don't. I just never want to be the person that they interact with.
Yeah.
Are
would
they
you have wanted to be
always random people though? Sometimes I feel like they're plants.
I feel like sometimes it has
Or
to be.
at least-
Because when
At
I
least,
was
like filtered at like the beginning of the show or something.
when
Right.
I was in London, I saw a production of A Midsummer's Night Dream, And in that one, I can't remember any Shakespeare character right now.
Is it Puck?
Puck, yes. So
okay,
Puck
yeah.
made someone eat a banana. Like they force fed them a banana.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I was like, what if this guy, like, that's crazy. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Did you miss this part of the Comedy Bang Bang live show where they got the security guard up and like made him do tricks?
Let me say, I was there for, I think, like until like the last 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel, or maybe I don't know. I left at like 10:30.
But anyway, that was I was like, you guys might get sued. Like after they did that, like you could actually, like, I don't know, they tipped him over and shit like that. He was on his back.
He fell over.
Mm-hmm. But then they were.
I'm not the Comedy Bang Bang lawyer here, okay? But
someone else was like joking. It's like, let's get the guy back up there, and I said out loud, no. Yeah,
that's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it was.
I mean, the first time was already kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, the first time?
Yes, Spencer just said he came back. He came back up, like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow! Maybe I did miss that second one then. Oh, that's crazy. Anyway, we're talking about menswear, guys. What? Do you have favorite fits this week? What do you guys wear? What do you have do you ever do that? Do you ever really be like, damn, here's the FFs.
Yeah.
Yeah. FF time.
Uh-huh.
It's the FF report. We should bring it
FF
to a
on
t-shirt.
the FF. Freeform on the favorite
Freeform.
Freeform. Yeah. Do you guys ever look back at your week and be like, damn, like this was
my week of fits?
Was a good
I do that a lot.
I mean, do you guys document? I mean, I know obviously anyone who needs photos from me knows that I document fits every day, so it's easy for me to go back there and look. But do you guys, because Young Chomsky's got his FOMO app that he can organize his fits by. Like, do you guys look back at your stuff?
I will try to take mirror selfies, but I don't usually post them. But I have them. I don't know. Yesterday,
Papa.
That's right. There was. This is again. We're. I don't know. Last time I was in the office on Thursday.
Michael Scott was saying what?
Michael Scott was being so offensive. I couldn't believe him. But
he was
anyway,
prison mic that day.
Things are really starting to slow down, and so in the middle of the day, someone was like, "Hey, we're just gonna watch a movie in the conference room," and so we watched The Parent Trap.
Okay.
And actually, really good fits in that movie. I was inspired by that. Where there's a scene where they go camping, and is it Dennis or Randy Quaid? Who was the one in Reagan? Dennis Quaid. Yeah. So he's wearing either the Ralph Lauren or J. Crew barn coat with a denim, like Oxford shirt, or not an Oxford shirt, but a button-down shirt, and like a colored tee. And so I did that. I just wore that yesterday when I was running a couple errands, and I was like, this looks pretty good. I like this one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I always get him confused with Pierce Brosnan, and I feel like young him looks I think they have the same face shape and hair.
He has a much different smile though. He has a sinister smile.
Yeah. He's got that Reagan smile.
Yes, that's right.
Ronald Reagan.
We should watch that movie. We should talk about that movie.
I watched it. Sorry, I didn't watch it. Someone told me that they watched it, and I didn't know if they were conservative or not, because I didn't want to. I was trying to clown on it, but it seems like they watched it earnestly.
They just
and I was like, or maybe they just wanted to watch they just want to watch a biopic. You know what I mean? Like, I guess Nixon, Oliver Stone, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But anyway, I think I'm sure it's bad. I think my fit for Friendsgiving was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that fit a lot. You guys can see the photos of that, because it's a very Ethan fit, but I think the difference is that I didn't wear a striped shirt, which I think is crazy. But I wanted to go for that whole tonal thing. But I also recently, for the Comedy Bang Bang, I wore a pinstripe suit, but it was very ALD-ish. It was a pinstripe DB, red crewneck sweater, jaunty scarf, beret, horse bits, white socks. It was very cool. And, I try and make time to wear like these kind of like more cool, not contemporary. I guess it's kind of contemporary because it's very zeitgeisty, or hot take. We're moving away from that, but I feel like it was cool. I don't know what I wanted something that was kind of Christmassy for that weekend, and it just looked good. And also shout out fuck, I forgot his name, Chad. I feel like his name is Chandler. No, it's
Chandler Bing.
Nope, it's Chadwick. Yeah. Not the one that we interviewed, not Chad. Well, Chadwick is not Chad Bourne. Those are two different Chads, I guess. The Chad, but Chad wore a red T-shirt, neck scarf, but tucked in with like a New York Yankees cap with a pinstripe suit, and I like that outfit, and I want to do my spin on it, but I don't wear ball caps, so I wore a beret, and so
nice.
that was kind of like my favorite fit as of late. I feel like again we're recording this 2 weeks in advance or so it's kind of like I'm sure I have got some other cool outfits. But yeah, MJ, what about you?
I worked this whole week since Sunday, 6 days.
Wow.
Okay.
Thou shalt
but
labor.
You can still wear a fun fit to work.
Yeah, I wore jeans most this week. I kind of alternated between the 316 straight cut selvage and my big pleated jeans.
Oh yeah, Geno's.
Gino. I was gonna say something
you guys
else.
You guys ever play Mario 64 with Gino?
Oh, of course I played Mario 64.
Remember when like Smash was like coming out and everybody was...
I don't know why Gino's not on there, bro. I don't get it.
Was,
I don't
waiting
understand.
for him to be announced, and like every Reddit like leak was fake. But yeah,
This is gonna out me a little bit. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I would do one more thing. I never played 64, but I did when I was younger. I saw it was like a fanfic role play, not sexual.
Okay.
Let me be clear, not sexual, but it was like a Mario and Luigi like universe stuff, and it's because I was obsessed with Superstar Saga, and I just wanted all the content about all that shit. And so because in Superstar Saga, I feel like it is like every previous adventure is canonical, and I think Gino makes an appearance or a cameo in that one. People like made like a new adventure with all that kind of stuff. So like that was like my first real experience, like reading about Chino and like who's the bad guy, like the sword guy, I forgot, like Stony, I forgot what his name is. But like there was like that whole, anyway, like it was like all the bad guys were it was really cool, and it was like one of those things where it was like a community project, so like each week or whatever, each person would like add a chapter to the whole thing. But yeah, I was like, I don't know who this guy is, like, and it's funny because like that was like before the Mario Wiki became a thing. And so like I had no idea what Gino looked like other than the guide to Superstar Saga having that little thing of meet Gino, you know what I mean? So like I was like, I don't know who the hell this guy is, but now you can find all the information of him
and more.
Anyway, go ahead, MJ. Lore.
Lots of big jeans. I got to wear my leather jacket because it's finally like cold enough now.
That's not true because it was like 70
California.
degrees, like 78 degrees the past 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, once it reaches like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., it's cold. So
that's right. You just gotta wait until 4 or 5 p.m. to leave the house.
Yeah, it drops like 20
4
degrees.
4 p.m.
I love that song.
Yeah. Oh, I got to wear my sweater vest, the sort of like Asian looking like saffron core.
Oh, the black, the black kimono, double-breasted, low buttoning one.
Yeah, but the gray one, I bought a gray one.
That's correct. I forgot about that
one. Thank you, eBay.
Thanks, eBay.
Thanks, eBay, for the clothes. Thanks, Mr. eBay. John eBay.
John Q eBay.
That's pretty good.
And then I wore like a really techie, tech as in like tech wear outfit. The Kiko.
You wore technology.
Yeah, I just put like my laptop on my chest.
You look like not Eric Adams, Eric Andre as the Google guy.
Yeah.
Hey Google, show me this guy's balls, please.
Google, or Dwight in Threat Level Midnight. Oh
yeah. Oh no! When he like spills the thing.
I guess I did make him a robot.
Yeah, that's where some food for you and some food for me comes
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
It's a good quote.
It is. I say
The
it
Office.
sometimes and nobody knows what I'm talking
What do you?
about.
Yeah, no one knows whatever I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
People
I don't know
don't
what,
know
I'm,
what
and they-
I'm
and
what
they
I'm
don't.
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
The yellow Kiko Macintosh jacket and then some like tech wear cargos on like the coldest day of the week.
I'm a Macintosh.
And I'm a
PC.
PC Tosh.
Yeah,
I,
Pictosh.
I'm a
Big Tosh.
I'm a TikTok.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Talk about Gene Spencer. I heard you have a little surprise announcement for us about Gene.
Big
Tell
Gene
the
This
audience.
is a big thing. I want
Yeah,
other
BTs.
other pants.
Watch out, we got some BTs over
Yeah.
here.
I do want other pants
Big
now.
tits.
I want big tits. But
Watch out, we got big tits over here.
I wear jeans almost every day. I do still love them. I'm never gonna fall out of love with jeans, but I need a little variety in my life. I need some spice. I need some ice spice.
Lattes.
Yeah, you're telling
That's
me.
right. But anyway,
Seasonal.
yeah, it's I was looking through. This reminds me a lot of one of our very close internet friends. I was looking through old yearbooks recently.
Oh, shout out.
Because I don't know, the Cal State Long Beach has an online archive
yeah.
of all their yearbooks, and I was looking through the ones from the 60s and 70s and seeing so many cool fits.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like dressing up like I'm especially since I work at university. I like wearing a bunch of like, Ivy League or just university style stuff. So
Yeah.
I tend to wear just khakis every day. I wear my chinos. But looking through, like, especially in the 60s, it's like, even though it's very casual, you still see a lot of, just like kind of the stay press style, like 5-pocket khaki pants. You see a lot of corduroys, you see a lot of slacks and stuff like that. And I'm like, I really like these looks. I want to wear this more. But the problem is the pants that I have, that I wear most often that, like, I don't know, are comfortable. I basically have my jeans, I have my khakis, and I have a recently rediscovered pair of 60s brown wool slacks, which I really like those. I want more that are just like that.
Yeah.
I have a couple of like Gab pants that both of those I need to get like repairs done on. I just haven't stopped by the tailor to do that. So maybe that's something I'm gonna do when I have like 2 weeks off. I'll go to the tailor and be like, please fix these pants so I can wear them more often. Please. But yeah, I just I need some more variety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that affected what you wear with them? You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're wearing trousers, like I'm going to wear a tie or a sport.
I have
shirt
been wearing
or
ties
whatever.
more often to work just because especially if I'm doing something where I'm going to be not just sitting at my desk, but like out there interacting with people. I like to throw on a tie. Sometimes I've done like, I don't know, it was when I first started working there, I was only doing the very simple like university looks, so like button down shirts with like with striped ties and stuff like that. But I've also branched out. I did kind of a fun look where I was like doing a kind of 40s thing where I had a 40s like a 40s jacket. I wore a blue just spear point shirt with one of my like World War II, I think it was the khaki tie. And then the tie bars that have like the little chain with the thing on it. I have one that has like a bull head, and so I wore that
with the chain.
And it was kind of
That
like a
sounds kinda
40s
sick,
Western tinged casual outfit.
Yeah.
But that one was fun. I like wearing my like 70s like paisley tie. I have like a Liberty London silk paisley tie from the late 60s or 70s. I really like that one. And then just like a couple like thinner like foulards from the 50s and 60s. I've been wearing those a lot because previously when I was dressing up for work, I would just only wear striped ties. But I'm branching out again.
I need to get not more into, but I need to wear my striped ties more often because I feel like the more I introspect on all these things, like I normally do, I feel like I obviously have my favorites, um, and I go back and forth. I think mainly between solid ties and foulard ties. I think most people know that foulard ties are like daily drivers, for like Esquire man stuff, and solid ties like when I want to feel like chic or like minimalistic, and striped ties. I feel like to talk about the style of Ethan and how it's changed. I feel like the Ivy Ethan had its heyday, of course, with like my Drake stuff. And when I do wear a striped tie nowadays, it's usually the classic like blue and red, and maybe like the little thin yellow stripe, very classic reps like navy and red stripe. But I have a lot of great striped ties, and I should do that more. Maybe it's because maybe it's because it's we're in fall, winter, or I guess basically winter now for California, where when I wear like a sweater vest and everything, I like the foulard. I feel like it just makes it more interesting, and I like foulards against tweed jackets because again, it's very Esquire man. So it's one of those things that I'm like kind of. It's always interesting to kind of see like, okay, I'm gonna give myself this prompt of like wearing, for you wearing these trousers, and for me maybe wearing these striped ties. Um, but that is kind of fun. I try. I don't want to buy new things, and I guess for both of us, we're not buying new things. We're just
Yeah.
kind of rediscovering items here, and keep an eye out for the next episode where we talk about wearing old outfits. 'Cause that'll be our next episode, our big discussion there. I guess we haven't
Wow.
really left big discussions, but we'll get into it. Um, Speaking of jeans, I dyed
No.
I dyed a pair of
Oh.
pants. I dyed a pair of
No.
black jeans.
Oh, the jeans didn't
Um,
die.
Yeah, they didn't die yet. I hope by the time this episode comes out, I've worn them with a couple of fits, or maybe I will revisit it. But I guess I'm bringing it up because I'm going to wear them today, the day of recording, just because I feel like it.
Because I fucking
And
feel like it.
that's right. And so I'm looking at them, and they definitely look blue in like the sunlight because I feel like I heard that you can't get rid of indigo dye. Like you can't use dye remover for indigo, like on jeans specifically, and you can't. And it's really hard to get rid of. And it's also really hard to dye something black because black is so like it's so dark, and of course indigo is dark, so you're kind of just adding black on top of a thing that already has it, and so. I could dye them again. I am scared of them shrinking a little bit because you have to dye them in hot water, right? It's like a bath of hot water, then you put the mixture in or whatever. Um, but maybe I'll wear them out today, and I'll see if I want to add more to it. I heard you're supposed to add orange because I think orange and blue are like diametrically opposed, so like the orange will counteract it. I did 2 bottles of black dye and a half bottle of orange, but this time I might do like 1 bottle of orange and then like 2 bottles of black just to see if I could get it. I don't mind if it becomes like a dusty black, but I just don't want it to be too blue because
Yeah.
I don't want navy blue jeans, and they're not navy blue, but they're definitely like in the light, like you can see like behind the black. It's like a instead of black being like a dark gray, like which is what black usually is. This is like this is blue black. It's straight up
Yeah.
like a very dark midnight blue. Like it's like as if like you had indigo jeans that didn't have any white in like the weft or whatever. It's all like just if it was all dark blue, but it's blue black.
That's neat.
But I will say they look really sick. I got the pants hammed, I got the jeans hammed, and that was really, really cool.
That's fun. I don't know, every once in a while I get bored and antsy and I just need to customize a piece of clothing. It's fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Just raw him
you know,
something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I missed that. I feel like there are a couple of jeans that I bought that I should have just kept in raw hemmed, but I think it's because I know that I'd rather see them go to someone that can wear them. So, for example, I did thrift a pair of like Levi's 550s or whatever, like the straight leg black jeans, and I got them, but I didn't like how faded they were, and I bought a bigger size so they would sit higher and be a straighter leg, but they were just too big for me. They were probably like a little over a size too big, and I could have taken them in. But I was like, you know what? It's fine. I ended up buying the 316 jeans, which I love. That are like also like they're straight up just dark black selvage, which is awesome. And I ended up selling those 550s to my friend Jack. And the thing is that the 316 jeans I'm also in between sizes, but I bought the one that was a little bit bigger so they could sit higher. But then I took them in because I was like, you know what? I'm tired of like the weird cinching waist thing, and so I took them in, and they're great now. Obviously, I just gotta stay this size forever. But I was like, damn, should I have just kept the old ones and then just like take it in the waist there, then raw hem them? That way I have like these like beater jeans. But I'm also like, I don't need now. I don't need 3 pairs of black jeans. I rather just have like the flare jeans and then the one like straight leg ones.
Yeah.
But of course I have black like giant fit chinos. Like there's a lot of stuff that I just have, you know, and it's like I do try and be someone who keeps things forever. I've owned at least the giant fit chinos for over a year now, and I do wear them. But it's like, damn, do I really need them? But it's also like I don't want to just sell them or like whatever. But I'm sure I'll always find a way to wear them.
Some of the Spencer staples are getting worn out now. I need to like repair them or maybe even replace them. Like my chambray shirt. The collar is like completely like it's really worn out. Right? Yeah, I can flip that one, but I need to do that. Yeah. But then my sawtooth, my denim shirt, it's so thin now. And now like when I just pulled it out of the wash, like I let it hang dry, but I just pulled it out of the wash, and there's like a big like hole on the elbow right there. And so it's pretty cool, but I'm just like, oh man, I need to.
My sawtooth is still so rough. It's still not rough, but like I don't wear it as much as yours. But also, mine was like dead stock when I got it. Yeah, basically.
I think mine was like also because I just got mine on eBay from one of those places that just kind of like resell LVC. Like I got a good deal on it, but I'm pretty sure it was new, but it was just the one that was like pre-distressed or pre-faded or whatever.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I had to every time I'm like, should I just sell this thing? But I'm also like, no, I'm not giving the guy who gave up an LVC sawtooth denim shirt that's pretty good, you know. Yeah. I also, I mean, I wear a lot of my sports shirts a lot. I flip my collars around a lot. I do that with the OCBDs. My M43 pants have torn so many times.
Oh man.
I wear those, like, those are, like, my go-to, like, whatever pants. Like, like, I guess we've never really done an episode on, like, lazy style. And it's not, like, it's lazy because it's still a fucking fit. But, like, they're so comfortable. Like, my M43s are so light.
Yeah.
It's just, I remember being on the plane to New York coming back from New York the last time. And I wore them on the plane. I wore them one day in New York, and I wore them on the way back. And I don't know, maybe because, like, you know how, like, if you don't wash clothes, they are more delicate and they'll just, like, tear. And again, it's only been 3 days, and I washed them before I brought them. But on the plane, I, like, shifted in my seat and just went, rip! And, like, it was on the ass, and I was like, and I was like, ah, shit. Like, not like the center seam, but, like, the cheek seams, I guess.
The cheek seams.
Or not the seam. There's no seams. It's the cheek
just
areas.
The cheekies.
And then I was like, oh shit, so I moved again, and then my knee ripped. And so I have them now, and they feel fine, but it's one of those things where, like, I can feel the patch on them now, and it feels, because now they're like double reinforced, because he's like, these pants keep ripping, and I'm like, I know. And yeah, so it's kind of interesting to have that, but I like that. They look cool with, like, the repairs on them, you know. And I like my tailor because, like, he just repairs them. Shout out Noe. Like, I'm sure, like, he just charges me with everything else. Like, I don't know if he's charging me specifically for those repairs, but, like, he just does them, and they look really good. I mean, maybe if it was like Sashiko or whatever, like, that's cool. But, like, also, like, I'm not really that picky. I just want to be able to wear my fucking pants.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, doing a DIY thing to your clothes is really, really cool. It did feel cool to dye my jeans. I feel like it's like to be like, oh, where'd you get them? Actually, these are vintage 80s dungarees. And unlike Seafarers, which I know a lot of people find on eBay, these are 100% cotton. You got to find the 100% cotton dungarees. And so I have them, and I dyed them black, and they're
I want a pair of those so bad. I feel like a couple years ago I saw them everywhere, and I don't know if they just got popular or something, but it's like, even when I went to...
Oh, they did get popular.
Yeah, when I went to Vintage Productions, which is like this huge vintage warehouse in Orange County, I was shocked when he was like, oh, I don't have any of those right now. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, what's your waist size?
Like between a 36 and a 38.
Okay, because I buy a 34.
Yeah.
And I'm like a 33 or 32. I mean, Spencer, if you want them, I mean, I literally just found them. 38 waist, $60.
$60? Right, okay, maybe I'll have to do it.
Yeah, and they're 100% cotton,
baby. Okay, I'll check them out.
There's a lot of these.
That's good. Okay.
Wait, should I buy more to dye more of them? Because oh, okay. The ones that I have are definitely like, I guess maybe because I'm a skinnier size, and so the ones I'm looking at are like $100. I'm like, fuck, I paid 100 for mine, and that's why I was like, I hope these come out good, because if I fuck these up, I just wasted like $110. Yeah. Talk about big changes. The last segment of this episode is I called the article A Little Bit of Rest because I'll get to it in a second, but I lengthened almost all of my pants.
Wow.
I added like an inch to all my trousers. I'm talking about my trouser, so not my jeans or my chinos, obviously, because there's nothing to let down. But I'm talking about my like thrifted, pleated trousers and my Hall Madden trousers, as well as my Atelier Fugue suit trousers. I lengthened them by an inch across the board, and this is kind of crazy because for those of you who know me well, and this is a crazy first episode if you guys are listening to this. I doubt that this is your first episode, but I am a no break guy. Okay,
no breaks.
No breaks.
I work all day,
all night.
Yeah, I work through lunch.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, a break is like where like the interaction between your trouser and your shoe. I guess we could have a whole episode on pant shoe interaction, but I also feel like that's such a visual thing that I don't know how we would do it. I guess this kind of serves as like a preamble, or at least our version of this discussion. If we revisit it later, maybe we'll talk about it. Just have a whole article on our favorite pant shoe interactions. But it is, yeah, so it's all about how that happens, and with a no break, it means the trouser basically doesn't touch the top of your shoe. It's I prefer a no break as a shivering break, where it's touching or very close to touching, but without creasing or breaking too much. That's different to me than a crop. A cropped trouser is technically a no break because it's not breaking at all, but I feel like there's a bigger gap. The pant shoe interaction is characterized by a lack thereof with spacing in between the two. And I never really liked a full break or whatever, because of just, I want clean lines, and you want to look at illustrations and everything like that. And it's funny because I was talking about this with a friend. My friend goes, "But Ethan, this is a drawing. You can't look like a drawing." And I go, "I know, but I want to be as close as I can to this visual Esquire Man ideal here." Okay, it's like how people say. I remember Derek Guy, either, I think it's deleted now, but like on either Die Work or Put This On, he says dress like a cartoon character, and not for like the uniform aspect, but because cartoon characters are straight lines, they don't want to draw a bunch of creases. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly it. So I want to dress like an illustration, which is kind of a cartoon. But anyway, I noticed that there was an issue with my pants. Like, I guess not really an issue, because I guess people never really called it out. And it's one of those things where I'm always open to criticism in a way that's like positive, not about my style, but just kind of like, oh, maybe you should try, going wider on the shoulders, or, whatever, because I feel like that it just helps a little bit, just because I don't want to be in my own echo chamber. You know what I mean? And we kind of talked about this in the episode on custom clothing, where as much as I like Atelier Fugue and all this kind of stuff, I wish I was just there in New York, because I would be like, hey, Dave, what would it be like if we lengthened this? Or like, how would it be like if we, widen this part of it? And I mean, we do that over like Google, whenever I do a reorder, but it's one of those things where obviously in person it would be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want to just order things for no reason and discover a bunch of issues later on. And I gave you guys a link. I think you guys both have access to my WordPress, I think. But you can see some of the photos there. But like when I have my trousers, I feel like because they're so wide, they kind of made this interesting pant shoe interaction where they kind of like, they're not really resting. They're not keeping that straight crease on my shoe. And it's kind of tough because like it makes this kind of like diamond, or like I guess like visual diamond shape, where I guess all trousers kind of look like that, but I guess because it's so wide on the sides, it kind of like bows out at the sides, so it kind of does. I'm doing this visually on the video camera for MJ to kind of get it, but like you can kind of see that in my photos I included. And so I didn't like that. I wondered like what that was, and I feel like with a pant, because it's not resting on anything, it kind of just hovers out, and because they're so wide, it makes the pants look different than they're supposed to in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I like having two tubes, but I want them to kind of be straight. I don't want the ends to kind of like curve outward or whatever. And maybe that's a part of that is like the way my legs are. Like, I feel like my thighs are thicker, but they are maybe thicker in the front, so they kind of like make this thing where like they take up this space, and then so like the I guess if I was standing sideways, my thighs are thicker, but from the front they're slimmer. So it's like one of those things where they take up that space in the front of the pant.
Yeah.
And because I'm slimmer on the side profile of my thighs, the trousers kind of like skirt outward because that's where like the small of my leg is. And of course my calves and everything below the knee is smaller. So like it just makes for a weird thing. But anyway, because the trouser hems aren't resting on anything, I feel like that made them kind of kick out and make this kind of like awkward shape. And so I was like, before I thought of like lengthening them, I was like, oh my God, like, is this like a hip thing here? Should I do? And I'm sure all these stuff still play into that. I'm not denying that. I mean, I know obviously when you work in bespoke, like there are a lot of minuscule things that you can do to like counteract your certain body qualities or whatever. And of course, obviously when you compare this to an illustration where you can just draw them straight down, like it's really tough. It is a really weird like kind of metric to have. And I think one of the other things too is that in menswear, people can look good with a variety of breaks, a variety of trouser styles. And so it was kind of hard for me not to clock this. You know, like Anglo-Italian has kind of like a slimmer, like a tapered leg, but then they have like a no break, you know, they kind of hover. Mark Cho kind of goes back and forth on this, but has a slimmer leg profile overall. You know, there's a lot of stuff in there where I was like, I don't know if I would be able to like catch this stuff. But it's also hard because no one dresses with a leg profile like mine, at least outside of like old illustrations. And, you know, it's just kind of tough to think about. And anyway, so I was like, you know, what am I going to do here, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I think if I just lengthen the trouser, maybe this will fix it. Maybe if I just add that little, like, you know, half an inch to an inch or so to the length, maybe it'll catch better. It'll rest on my trouser, and it will be straight, and it won't skirt out to the side. And it worked. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, when looking at these new photos of mine, I feel like they kind of just they did the trick. You know, they break a little bit more. You know, I guess depending on how high I wear them, and obviously as the weight fluctuates around the day, like they kind of sag a little bit. I might forget to pull them up or whatever, but they look really good. I think they just have like they're able to have this kind of like really straight profile, and the most important part is because since they rest, the trouser is forced to stay straight instead of like moving all the way around in the directions of the wind. And so to me it makes it make for a cleaner look, which is kind of like wild to me, that like lengthening them makes it cleaner. But maybe just because the fact that my pants were just that much shorter, like it just makes it work really well. But yeah, it's just kind of funny, and it kind of just transforms my whole outlook on my trousers. And it's, again, I feel bad for not recognizing this previously. And it's not like looking at these photos, it's not like my pants looked bad before, but it's the fact that like, oh, I could have done this, which is a very interesting dynamic for me to have on my pants. Where like, or just how you approach clothing in general. Like, and it's kind of hard to be like, with menswear, to be like, okay, my suit looks good, but it could look better with extended shoulders, you know, or maybe more room in the chest, or I guess, you know, kind of like what one of the big things for me before was like how long my jacket should be, because like when I bought 30s jackets that fit in the 30s, a lot of jackets were that short, and so when I bought modern jackets, it kind of helped, you know, because most jackets were that short. But then I was like, wait, this looks kind of bad when I wear it with different pants, and so that's why my jacket's length has gotten like longer over the years. And it's one of those things, again, you can't, with a jacket, you can't see what it would look like with longer, because you can't do that. But with trousers, you have this kind of degree of freedom to kind of manipulate it, you know, within the realms of what the allowance is there. And as Kiyoshi has said many times, Kiyoshi works in made to measure. Trousers are the hardest thing for people to get right. Custom made trousers. It's not just about silhouette. It's about getting like the proper, drape or whatever. And that could be with like, increasing your back rise so it doesn't fall, your seat doesn't fall, or making the seat tighter, or doing a combination of both of those things to make sure that the trousers fall cleanly, And again, like it does scare me a little bit because I'm like, what else should I do to my pants, And this might be the main reason I have to get into bespoke, because like I need to see what it looks like before and what we can correct, and just for my knowledge, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure that people who do bespoke, they don't always wear bespoke. Like Mark Cho does made to measure or ready to wear, but like knowing the nuances, if you are that close with your bespoke tailor and you're in that communication, like you're not just silent during the whole thing. Like if you educate yourself as you're doing it, I feel like it just opens your mind up to like so much of what you could get out of your trousers and what to pay attention to. And I know maybe I should ask Noe more about what he's. I mean, with Noe, I guess what we did was we just lengthened it. But like, if we were doing some of this other stuff, I would love to know, like, hey Noe, like, what are we doing here? Okay, I'm gonna take in this seam of your whatever, or I'm taking the hips here. Like at least on a basic level, when I took in my jeans, I know that we're not just taking in the seat or the waist of the seat. We're taking in a little bit of the hips too, because if you just take in that, your ass is gonna like kind of diaper out because like you need to take in that excess fabric, And so, but it's just interesting to me. And, again, my pants aren't perfect. I guess they're not perfect in my head, but they're closer now. But now I'm like, damn, do I just replace all my pants? Like it's just one of those things. But it's really cool, and I'm kind of appreciating a little bit now the break that happens if my pants sag a little bit or whatever. Like it makes for a different look, and they're not breaking so much, right? Because they're wide enough where like it doesn't like if they were tapered, I'm sure they would break more with the current length. But as we know, the wider your pants are, the closer you can get to the top of your shoe. But it is kind of cool to kind of add this to my look, and I feel like it's still the same Ethan. Like it's the same styling. It's just the pants are just that much longer,
Yeah.
And it looks really nice. I feel like it makes my legs look a little bit longer too, which is again is really funny because you want the legs to look clean, and which is why people do like a no break. But when you I guess that extra fabric just there's more, right? It doesn't feel like you're wearing a pair of pants that's like slightly too short. Like it truly is an uninterrupted line from your waist down to your shoe. Yeah. It's almost to the point now where I it doesn't even matter what color sock I wear, and it does for me as someone who's making the outfit.
Yeah.
But not in terms of like visual, unless I'm sitting down and crossing my legs, But yeah, it's kind of really funny. If you guys want to hear more about this and see the visual examples, please read my article that I just released on a little bit of it's a little bit of length, not rest, but I guess
oh, there you go, a little bit of length.
It's funny.
Yeah, but I guess it leads to a little bit of rest because they rest on the top of my shoe,
go.
which is really cool. I know we're close to wrapping up here, but I do want to tease, and maybe not in the next episode, but the next following one after that, because the next one is about re-wearing old outfits.
That's right.
Unless we want to bank that up even more, and we can do it afterward. But anyway,
you'll hear it eventually.
I am getting custom-made suits from Suit Supply.
Whoa.
At the time of recording, I haven't placed the order yet. I just got my fit passport. That's what they call it apparently, because I guess it's your ticket. Well, a passport's not a ticket.
No.
I was gonna say it's your ticket to new clothes, but a passport is just your the information you use. And I guess your receipt when you buy something is your ticket. And I guess you do need a passport to travel on that plane and use your ticket. Anyway, my friend Jack worked at Suit Supply, and he's been able to make some cool stuff, and I kind of wanted to try it out. And my friend Sirhan also wanted to get into it, and I guess I could talk more about that on the next episode. But it'll be a really, really fun one to get out, I guess, when it comes in.
Yeah.
And it's also because there's no shame to Hall Madden, but that suit I made 4 years ago, it's getting hard to fit into. MJ might have a really expensive suit. That's kind of crazy, actually. But it's one of those things where the trousers are fine. Actually, I love the trousers on them. But the jacket, the shoulders are getting a little bit tough to kind of fit into, and,
Oh,
and
no.
I let out the arms, like the actual all the way, like the inlay through all the sleeve, and it helped a little bit. But maybe it's because it's fall winter now, and I'm wearing sweaters. I'm like, bro, I can't. Like I'm like gonna fucking bust out of that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. The Seat Supply has like this 4-ply fabric, house fabric, and 4-ply is great. Obviously, if I could, I would do like Drappers 4-ply. Drappers also has like an 8-ply, which is insane. It's I know my friend John Greenacre, my son actually, he has an 8-ply double-breasted suit made to measure from the Armory, and 8-ply is insane. Imagine wiping your ass with that, you know.
It's like
That's
the
all I
snake.
can imagine.
Yeah, because toilet paper is 2-ply.
If you're cheap like me, it's half a ply.
What?
Is that an office reference?
That's an office reference, but also sometimes I do get cheap toilet paper.
I can't do it, man. It's not. I'll spend that luxury.
Every time I do that, I instantly regret it, because then I go to like someone else's house and they have the nice toilet paper. I'm like, I'm depriving myself of so much.
And you end up using more toilet paper
Yeah,
anyways.
exactly.
Because they're so thin.
It's so thin.
So
You just
you
have to
have
have
to,
a
like,
giant wad.
Yeah.
It's the whole
okay.
Derek Guy thing of why buy one shitty pair of shoes that you replace all the time when you can just buy one really
This
good pair.
is
to have?
the ass wiping podcast. We talk about wiping our ass.
AWP, baby.
Yeah.
FFC.
People are gonna love that segment.
Yeah.
Maybe this will
Give me
be
that.
fodder for
Give me the
a
ass
future
report.
episode, but I feel like I'm going through something similar with jackets, where I got rid of most of my jackets that were obviously too short, but now just when I wear something that I have from, say, the 40s and 50s, where things tended to have a longer length, versus some of my jackets from the 60s, or even some of my 30s jackets, I'm like, these are too short. I need something that's like longer. And it's like, it fits where it's technically supposed to if you read the online guides, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just want something with a little bit more length.
I love how everyone comes to Ethan's journey at some point in their life. Where I did the same thing, where I got rid of all my short jackets because I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I simply can't do it. You know. Yeah, that'll be fun for a future episode as you continue on that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what. Yeah, I hope dear listeners, you're excited to come along with us and see the new things that we get up to in this new phase of the podcast. Because, I was on MFA recently, as I am. I actually am only on it when someone tags me. And if anyone listens to this and wants to ask me a question on Reddit, please tag me and then DM me that you tagged me, because I don't have notifications on Discord. But anyway, I guess you were talking about guides, and someone did say that they love Ethan's blog, but it's moved away from advice and is more reflective and commentary. And I go, oh, good, thank you for noticing. And then a guy was like, and I said like, oh yeah, I jumped into that thread and said, oh, it's because like I feel like I've written everything that I've wanted to about advice or the very like pragmatic, like buy this kind of stuff. I've already written those articles and recommendations of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to see people go like, oh yeah, I still look at like the beret article, or or like, oh, I wanted to get a brown check jacket or whatever, and there's so much inspo, and I'm like, it's really fun. And then someone goes like, yeah, but like I also like after that, like they got into the occasion article, and it's like that really helped me like want to dress more or whatever, and like get into the philosophy of it. I'm like, yeah, see, it's really great to have that, that people go from like buying specific things to like, okay, well, how does this fit into my life? And I want more of that. And I think that after we've covered so much of these philosophies and ideas, I want to get back into seeing how they interact with us. And you can't really have that kind of reflective or like in IRL experience if you don't give space for it, and
Yeah.
so taking a break from doing really big stuff of like, what is authenticity, now we can talk about, oh, I want to buy this thing, but I'm concerned if it's authentic to me, kind of having these more case study examples of this kind of stuff, because we don't sit around just doing philosophical discussions all the time. Like we just when we're shooting the shit, we're like, oh yeah, this is really cool. Like I really like that idea, and also like being able to react to stuff. Like, for example, should we buy vintage versus buying a vintage or buying a reproduction? I feel like that's kind of an interesting idea about authenticity, and also for us as vintage collectors who can kind of find the true vintage versions of things, but also the ease of reproductions or duplicates, or I guess dupes are the pejorative version of that.
Yeah.
But just kind of being like, okay, but also like reproductions are a small business, but also vintage sellers are a small business. So, like, what are the implications of that? And that's kind of a cool thing that touches on expression, and as well as our ideas of authenticity and buy, and like how we, our priorities when buying clothes. And so I hope that this next phase of the podcast is we get to get into that. And so it's not like we're going to ignore these big ideas, but kind of just use them in our everyday interactions with clothes.
That's right.
Yeah.
And of course the FFs, the FF report, for fuck's sake report.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I think it's kind of a fun thing to kind of like talk about the outfits that we've worn this week. I mean, I watched The Brutalist recently.
Oh, I gotta see that.
I wore an outfit that was inspired by Adrian Brody in a different movie, but I did wear. I only have like one. It's not an artillery tie, but it kind of has like this like zigzag pattern, and that's the most brutalist tie I could think of. I guess it's the most architectural tie, and I wore that to watch the movie, and that was really cool. Maybe we'll talk about that in a bonus or something, because we got that. We got a complete unknown.
My God, yeah, there's so many.
We've got queer. I know, it's so much stuff.
Yeah.
So much stuff going on.
Every time I talk about that movie, I have to make it clear. It's like I'm talking about the movie. I'm not just saying like a slur.
I want to see queer. Yeah. So there's a lot of great stuff coming on, guys. Thanks for being a part of the podcast, a part of the audience ship. And if you guys want to support us, you can go to patreon.com/downdirection. $5 a month gets you access to our Discord. And I feel like we're going to be using that a lot more, because we're going to be talking about the articles and other stuff that happen on there. And I guess if you're in there, actually, I feel like you'll get the discussion immediately, which means that the podcast is redundant.
Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately. Nice. But there's a lot of great stuff going on in there. For example, talking about maximalism, minimalism, and how that's a trend. Like that's kind of crazy, or at the very least, seeing all these influencers kind of pare down their wardrobes could not be us. I will say. I mean, I feel like obviously I've gotten more honed into my style, like what is actually my style, but well, I guess I'm using a green screen right now, but that closet ain't getting smaller. In fact, we're as Spencer kind of said, we're more of like replacing the things we already own. I don't think we're buying anything that's truly that new. Although I think MJ, of course, you've always leaned into the whole designer thing more than we have. So like I'm talking like radically new things. Yeah. But for me, again, I'm literally if I buy the suit supply suit, I'm literally gonna buy a navy suit. So yeah. It's nothing crazy. It's the opposite of crazy. Yeah, it's the opposite. It's actually very, very safe and very sane, if you want to think of it that way.
Safe and sane.
He's not crazy.
That's right. But yeah, patreon.com/downdirection, $5 a month. That also gives you access to our bonus episodes where we talk about movies. It's our dedicated movie channel. You can hear us talk about the shop around the corner. We've talked about Asteroid City, all our favorite other films. Maybe in the future, the Philadelphia Story. We should do that in February for Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
that's a fun one. One of my favorite vintage films. I guess back then it would just be called
a regular film.
Yeah.
A now film.
What if a guy? Yeah, well, a guy goes, "I love watching vintage movies." And someone goes, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
It's Back to the Future. This is a rerun.
That's right.
What's a rerun? What are you talking about? This is brand new. Jackie Gleason while we eat. We'll listen to our episode on Back to the Future, which is our first ever bonus episode.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right.
4 years ago.
Wow.
Crazy.
A whole administration.
Back for the future. Yeah. A whole other admin.
Yeah.
Or the same? No, I guess... No, Trump was president back then, so I feel like... Because it was the election of that year.
Oh, boy. What a time that was.
Yeah, we're right back at the same point, right? Not really, but kind of. And $10 a month, you get that plus we say your name, MJ. Who are we thanking?
We are thanking our sidecast fanatics, Shane Curry, Philip Kierkegaard, Henrik Ulberg, Mason Ritchie, Alexander Batten, and Alex Scroggins.
We appreciate you guys so much. Random thing. I don't know why I'm getting chess.com emails all of a sudden. I feel like I unsubscribed a while ago, and I don't know why. It's weird to see them say, "Hey, teenage gent,
Oh God,
we
yeah.
miss you." I know.
We miss you.
You remember that time where we all played chess for like a couple of months? Just we had like multiple games with each other going on.
Yeah.
That was like when I worked at Ascot Chang, and that was a crazy time. On downtime, I'd be like playing, and it felt like male because I would do my moves so slowly. Like I would consider every possible scenario, and then I would make a move. Like and I remember our friend Andrew would be like, "Ethan, you're taking so long," and I'm like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "Sorry, games would last for like days, but hey, it's like playing via the mail with a chess grandmaster in Russia."
That's right.
Except it's just Ethan, the teenage gent on
teenage gent.
chess.com.
Was that when was that around the time when the Queen's Gambit came out too?
I don't remember, but possibly. I'm possibly speaking.
Feels like around
Anyway,
that
you
time.
can follow the podcast at Style and Direction. I'm at Ethan M. Wong.
I'm at Spencer DSO.
I'm at Aya MJ.
And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.